Sam Bankman-Fried didn't like Bitcoin. Why didn't he like it? Completely decentralized, transparent. He couldn't control it. FTX and Celsius and 3AC, completely opaque and centralized. Those were the companies that went under. The blockchains, whether you're talking about Bitcoin or Ethereum and many others, they didn't skip a beat. Transactions did not stop. And I think that has given us a lot of confidence that actually they're on the right track. We think there are three revolutions taking place simultaneously. There's the money revolution, which is mostly Bitcoin, a bit Ether. There is the financial services revolution, which is Ethereum, as is this notion of digital property rights. First time. That's Web3. Digital property rights. With an economics background, I know that the best way to lift people and countries out of poverty is to give them immutable property rights. And we think that Web3 is all about bringing digital property rights into this new world.
That was Cathie Wood on CNBC's Squawk on the Street talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum and basically saying that things are going according to plan, pointing out the fact that these blockchains and these centralized exchanges are not the same. The failure of some of the centralized exchanges and the centralized crypto companies have been different than a failure on the actual blockchain itself. And Cathie Wood saying there, I think accurately, that digital property rights can lift people out of poverty. Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Cody the Coin Raptor, and in today's video, I want to talk about some very interesting information that I've noticed lately. And I want to go ahead and start with the Morning Consult poll, or this Morning Consult cryptocurrency perception study that was paid for by Coinbase. So just so you know, this was paid for by Coinbase. They say they did it on behalf of Coinbase, but they've conducted an online survey from February 10th to 14th of 2023, and they're looking at the perception of cryptocurrency by average U.S. adults, okay? And so there are some very important takeaways here I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about, right? So their main takeaway here is there is reason to be optimistic about crypto's future. Americans are frustrated by the inequality in the financial system and are hungry for change, okay? And this especially applies to younger cohorts of Americans, especially believing the fact that crypto is worthwhile investment in the future and can lead to societal benefits. And I do tend to agree with that statement here. Well, if we dig into more of the detailed findings of this report here, we can see that the words associated with the global finance system are expensive, 34% say that, unfair, 30% say that, and confusing, 30% say that as well. All negative connotations, these top words. So Americans and U.S. adults have associated the global financial system with it being expensive, unfair, and confusing as well. Not to mention that, but 80% say the global financial system unfairly treats people with powerful interests favorably. Okay, so they're coming out and saying that the global financial system is more biased towards powerful interests as opposed to the common man. And 67% of Americans agree that the financial system needs major changes or a complete overhaul. So how does this all feed into crypto? Well, the way this feeds all into crypto is that crypto allows for us to have a decentralized financial system or even an independent financial system apart from the current global financial system, which is entirely based upon fiat. So the way they've asked some of these questions here, I think are very important to point out the fact that we've seen a huge change in how people are perceiving the crypto industry. And so what they have here is that on views of the global financial system, 80% here agree, 80% of the general population agree that the global financial system unfairly favors powerful interests. And that there basically needs to be a change within the financial system itself. So they also point out here that 20% of Americans own cryptocurrency, which has remained consistent each quarter since January of 2022. That's something that I've heard about previously. I think that I've heard it being anywhere between 15 and 20% or so. But that just goes to show you that if it's only 20%, we are still very early. And I think the ceiling on this could probably be as high as 50 to 70% or so of Americans owning cryptocurrency in one form or another. All right, so 20% of Americans own some type of cryptocurrency, and 29% are likely to buy or trade crypto in the next 12 months. Again, only 29%, but this has gone up dramatically from where it has been, okay? Because now it's kind of more in the zeitgeist of the of conversations being held, of people actually understanding that crypto exists. They may not necessarily understand what it means or how it works, but the fact is that we've seen an explosive growth in the number of people who are interested in crypto. And current crypto investors hold favorable views of the financial asset, and 84% are likely to buy crypto in the next 12 months. Okay, so again, 60% are saying that that crypto is favorable, and 84% are likely to buy crypto over the next 12 months. Okay, and especially, as I said before, crypto enthusiasm among younger U.S. adults remains high, and younger cohorts are equally likely to have pursued opening a crypto account in the past 12 months as they were to invest in equity markets. Now, this in particular is incredibly important because if you want to have the financial system changed, or if you want to have an alternative to the current financial system, you have to have an equal amount of buy-in for people who are interested in the traditional markets and the crypto markets. And the fact that they're equally likely to pursue opening this crypto account means that we are very close to that reality. All right, so the current crypto ownership is highest among younger Americans, Generation Z and millennials. That's not surprising at all, especially if you talk to older people that are much less crypto curious than younger people. And expected crypto purchases are highest among younger Americans. Again, Gen Z, 39%, and millennials, 45%. And a majority of Gen Z adults and millennials agree that cryptocurrency and blockchain are the future. Now, this in particular, I thought would be a little bit higher, but specifically when you talk about crypto and blockchain, they do have applications in the future. They do have huge use cases and demand drivers that will lead to further adoption. I believe that wholeheartedly. All right, now if we go down here, what we can see is that the current attitude of crypto investors, the current crypto investors remain optimistic about the future of crypto despite a dip in the crypto market. Enthusiasm for the asset remains high among those already engaged with crypto. All right, so a majority of crypto investors believe that the best days are still ahead, that cryptocurrency is a worthwhile investment for the future, and that it will be broadly beneficial for society to address inequality in the financial system. All viewpoints that I share as well. And even though we've gone through this insanely deep bear market in the past year, we're still seeing a large amount of adoption in the crypto space. And I think that that's definitely a worthwhile endeavor. All right, so 65% of crypto investors agree that cryptocurrency's best days are ahead of us. I would also agree to that. And 63% of crypto investors agree that expansion of cryptocurrency will be beneficial to society, while 72% believe it'll be beneficial to them personally. And those aren't necessarily mutually exclusive events, okay? Now, I definitely recommend, I'm not going to go through the entirety of this morning consult poll, but I definitely recommend you guys check it out, and I will have a link in the description as well. It's actually not that long. It's just a couple more pages here, and it really kind of helps underline and score the perceptions, right, of the crypto industry. And it also outlines how it's becoming more than just a niche, and that people are actually taking it seriously and looking at digital assets as actual real assets. All right, so about Bitcoin and the crypto prices today. So the NASDAQ was up 0.63% today. Now, normally, Bitcoin and the NASDAQ are positively correlated. However, if we take a look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin actually had kind of a bad day today because Bitcoin was actually down 0.30%. We saw a little bit of a divergence there. If we go and we take a look at the hourly, we can see exactly what happened here, in which Sunday, or over the weekend, I should say, you had not a lot of price action happening. And then we come into Sunday, and Sunday we see this explosive price action move upwards, going from 22,800 all the way up to about a high of 23,600. And then even further on Monday, it pushed even higher to 23,800. Now this Sunday buy, this Sunday pump, as I like to call it, does seem to have pushed the price a little bit higher, and some of that demand seems to be pulled forward. So what we're seeing right now is a kind of a gradual pullback of the price. It got all the way up here to about 23,800 today, Monday, and then it was immediately rejected and pushed down lower. Now, one thing I've noticed in the Bitcoin price is that we're still in an uptrend right now, currently. I've drawn out this uptrend here that goes back to about the 12th of January, so it's almost 2 months old or so for this uptrend. We touched it briefly here on the 13th of February, and we've touched it multiple times in the past couple of days. So what we need to do is, if you're bullish on Bitcoin, it needs to hold this uptrend right here. And right now, it's currently at 23,100. So we are still above that level. And then what Bitcoin needs to do is it needs to break out at 25,162. That's something I've talked about quite a bit. And I've said before is the key to unlocking the bull market. That right there, it has to push above this level. If it doesn't push above this level and it sideways consolidates a little bit, then it could gain the strength and the momentum needed to push above this level. But if it gets rejected off of it again, we're going to come down a little bit lower, probably down back here to 21,400, and then maybe even down to 20,400, somewhere in that range. Now, our RSI right now for the daily is at about 53, so it's not too overbought, it's not too oversold, and we could wind up seeing a move to the upside or a move to the downside depending upon what happens this week. And there's not a lot really going on this week other than some Fed chairs speaking and Fed governors, which that's definitely possible. It could move the price, but right now we haven't really seen a solid confirmation of this uptrend just yet, and we have not seen a breakout yet of 25K. So right now we are just kind of moving sideways and trying to hold this uptrend, which I think is incredibly important right now. Ethereum is in much the same situation. However, it's not testing the current uptrend support. The uptrend support right now would be 1578. Instead, it's in a pretty nice uptrend. But just like with Bitcoin, it needs to break out here at 1714, and we just haven't seen that over the past couple of days. And just like with Bitcoin, we had a pretty strong number of buyers come in on Sunday and push the price a lot higher. And again, it went from about 1,600 here all the way up to 1,642, and it has been rejected just like here with Bitcoin. And they've basically diverged completely right now from the NASDAQ for today. NASDAQ is up, Bitcoin is down, Ethereum is also down. That's very unusual. And to me, that signals the fact that investors are becoming a little bit less risk on, quote unquote, risk on. All right, so our Binance coin has very strong support here under about $300. We've seen that when it went right through this level, it got bought up very quickly, which shows that there's a lot of buying support down here at about anywhere under 300 really. And it's had difficulty also breaking out at 309. So from now, it looks like Binance coin is probably just going to chop sideways for a little bit until it can gain the strength necessary to push above this 309 level. Now, make no mistake, when it comes to Bitcoin and when it comes to Ethereum, I am still very bullish in the long run. What we're seeing right now is a normal part of the market. We're seeing a normal part of the Bitcoin cycle where it goes up a little bit and then it pulls back and then it consolidates. But right now, it's still very much in the hands of the bulls, very much in the hands of the longs. And with a little bit more volume and pressure, they can actually push it above 25K. And when that happens, as I said before, we're going to see an unlocking of the bull market after that point, okay? This is normal. This is a regular part of the cycle, and I am not concerned in the slightest for Bitcoin. But if we do get a nice pullback, I will definitely be interested in adding my position. I have not added to my position since November. So I bought back in November at the start of this huge capitulation, and I have not bought since then because I am waiting to see what Bitcoin does. If it confirms the end of the bear market and the start of the bull market, or if it comes back down again. And if it comes back down again, I'll be ready to buy more. Same thing with Ethereum. All right. So that's all I've got for you guys today. If you like this content, let me know. Like, subscribe, and go ahead and leave a comment. Greatly appreciate that. Follow me on Twitter for the most up-to-date information. This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and I hope to catch you guys in the next video.